What's going on, DeGINerates? This is Zach from Gin and Sofa. Welcome to another edition of James Bonding. This episode is going to be You Only Live Twice. The movie, if you remember, where Sean Connery turns Japanese. Yeah, it's as crazy as you sound. Before we get into it, just want to give you a little reminder, if you haven't already, hit that like button on YouTube, hit the follow button, hit subscribe on Spotify, go follow us on Instagram, Twitter. We have a Facebook page, we got a Discord page, we got a website where you can buy some merch if you want to buy, you want to get some swag, go get swagalicious with us, all right? All right, let's get this shit started. Good afternoon, Mike.
Afternoon.
Hello. We're back again for James Bonding. This time we're going to do You Only Live Twice. Yeah. So I made the drink. Apparently you didn't. So it's cool.
Not this time, but hey.
Yeah.
I forgot which episode I was drinking solo, so
I don't remember that at all. I don't
okay.
know. I think I was always drinking with you. I don't know. But I totally forgot the book up front. Do you have the recipe on hand?
While you talk about what you made, I can hold up.
Okay. All right. So I made my version of the Tiger Tent Tanaka. Yeah. It's not very it's just a color. It's just yellow. You know what I mean? Like it's very tea colored. I replaced the Santori whiskey with Santori gin, Roku gin.
Okay.
So I did 2 ounces of that. So I was very actually pleasantly surprised when it was a gin and sofa pour in the recipe.
Right.
2 ounces. I was like, perfect. I got gin. I got the gin and not the gin. I got the sake that it described.
Okay.
And so we and I put that in there. It's like 3.5 ounces or something like that.
Yep.
And then I did green tea.
Okay.
Jasmine green tea, just like it says. But I didn't boil water in it. I just made the tea and then I like added it in, right?
Okay.
And then I had simple syrup. I didn't put coconut. I hate coconut, first of all. So
okay.
I didn't. I just did regular simple syrup. Simple syrup.
Simple syrup.
Am I missing any? I didn't have any garnish, of course. So
no. So this was 2 ounces of the Centauri whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was 3.5 ounces of I don't even know how the sake brand.
Yeah, I just matched the words.
Yeah, okay.
It worked out.
And then a generous 3/4 of an ounce pour.
Funny thing about that, I was like generous. I'm gonna go 1 ounce. That's pretty generous.
I'd say that's
you know, like. So I did 1 ounce.
And then the last thing was 1 flowering jasmine tea ball. Did you do the tea ball? Or
I did a ball of tea. I had like an infuser.
Okay.
And then I just kind of put it in the tea. I made a mug of tea, you know, like a regular fucking. And then I took that tea, put it in the shaker with the other ingredients and shook it up. And I know reading it, it looks like it's supposed to be warm, right? It's like it's got like sake, right?
Yeah.
I said, nah, give me that big ice cube. I'm going to put some ice in there and shake it up. And then I took the flowering ball out.
Well, so based off of reading it, it sounded like it would have been up my alley. It sounds like, is it enjoyable?
Yeah. It's light. It's first sip. It's you could definitely taste the sake a lot. I mean, it makes sense. It's got. Oh, here's another thing. All right, I put in this cup, right? And I want to say I did the recipe as it said. I made a cup of tea, but I got about another fucking half. This is half full.
Okay.
I basically made like 3 fucking drinks, I think. Following that recipe.
Well, we'll see how you're feeling towards the end of this.
Right. But I guess it's only got the amount of alcohol it says. So it's mostly water, I think. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't know if I should have put the tea into the shaker and just let it infuse there. I don't know. Because like the water is essentially going to water it down, but I just kind of it is a little watery. Is I guess what I was getting at. The flavor is nice.
Okay.
Floral, herbal. It's got tea. It's got jasmine ball.
So I feel like this would, just based off of you saying it's a light, feels like kind of like a refreshing drink you could probably have a few of, right?
Yeah, and I guess. Do you like sake at all?
I do. Yeah, I've been known to
so you
fuck
definitely
up
should
the hibachi bar with
the old hibachi, huh?
Yeah.
The hibachi bar. What are you sipping on there then?
Oh, well, since I didn't make the drink and I may or may not be going to work later.
Right. Okay.
I have a LaCroix.
Yeah, all right.
Tangerine. Not that it's related to the theme, because
no, it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. We all been there before.
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and pop back to the drink.
Okay.
If you don't mind. It's really good.
Yeah, I feel like this is probably a bad one to sit out because I feel like if we're playing like Russian roulette, the one that you sat out of, I don't know that.
This is Goldfinger actually.
Yeah, that sherbet one. That was not my hole. I feel like the one with sake would have been up my alley. So
yeah, I didn't know you were such a big, like a massive fan of sake, and I would have been like, yeah, you need to take care of this.
It's not ever like if I'm going out to a bar, I'm not like, hey, brah, you have sake, but like.
But if you're at a hibachi place or something, what I mean?
If I go to hibachi or, any sort of like Asian fusion and I see that they have it, that will probably be my cocktail.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I would suggest making it maybe like tomorrow. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like if you have a time just to try it. And I do think I know the flavors are different because of it's gin and not whiskey, right? But I mean, I still think it's nice. I think gin pairs very well with tea.
Yeah, I do too.
And I said I was going to write this shit down, and I'm looking, and I didn't write down any of our reviews of like an order. Did you?
I have like my notes are very convoluted, but so far what I have, because like when I go back and listen, I'll try to put them down. I don't have the Dr. No, and I don't have From Russia with Love, but I gave Goldfinger a 2, and then we collectively gave Thunderball a 3.
Okay.
Or maybe I gave Thunderball 3. No, I think it was collective. But yeah, that's what I got. And then
all right.
So I'll next time I listen to the episode about Dr. No and From Russia.
Yeah, I know. I was like thinking, I was like, I should go listen to just the numbers real quick, and see what the hell it was, but I should write it down. All right, so our highest one is actually the last one, right?
Yes.
Thunderball, which was, what was that again?
A 3.
Okay, cool. What was the drink?
The Thunderball? I would have to pull it up, but it was something refreshing. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through right now. Just give me a second. It was the it was the Spectre Martini.
Okay, so it was just a martini. So
yeah, which I mean, it's really hard for me to not like that.
I agree. All right, cool. I'm putting this out there just to see if anybody pops in. So I think with this is a very solid 3. I mean, I think it's to me it's slightly above the last one just because martinis sometimes are just harsh.
Yeah.
So this is my favorite.
All right.
And again, I think I just kind of a little biased with tea in my drinks lately because I think I like it a lot. And that's kind of why I gave you like two options, remember? And I was like, it was like Kissy Suzuki and this Tiger Tanaka one.
Yeah.
And I was like, I kind of lean into this one just because it had tea in it. So that's just me.
All right.
But I suggest, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, so I annotated 3, and then I did make a note that of all of these, we'll call this the highest currently.
Okay, yeah, and then we can figure out the number later, I guess. I get
right.
3 point. I can't put 0.5, but 3, but above the Spectre.
And
I'll write it down too.
Sometimes I feel like my rankings, I feel like I don't contribute a ton because it's really hard for me to give a drink a 4.
Because it's
really hard for me to give a drink a 1. So I'm usually
right. It's either 2 or 3. That's it.
3.
Yeah, right. It's okay. It's tough because again, it's like 2 is like you're just. I guess you think of it as you're never gonna drink another one. You know what I mean? Like
right.
And the 3 is just you're gonna get another one. So either you do or you don't, and then 1 is like I can't even. It's because you don't not finish, I guess.
Yeah,
there's something I do, Mike. I always. That's what I was gonna say. I always finish.
Don't
worry about that.
I don't know if it's me being I'm not really like a cheapskate, but I am somebody that I really don't waste food. I try not to waste drinks. If I have it, I'm gonna consume it, and then from there, I'll get something else and just never do it again.
I guess it's a 3 then. Huh?
All right. Yeah. Well, if it's 3, then
yeah, I guess I have to. Yeah. So we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes, the review.
Why we're here?
Yes, why we're here. Of You Only Live Twice.
Yep.
James Bond, 007, MI6 agent. Just check and make sure everything's good. And I actually took a lot of notes on this one, surprisingly.
Okay.
I don't know why. I was just like,
we're gonna get into it, but
So if the grand scheme of it all, this is the official second to last Sean Connery Bond movie. Official, right?
I thought it was the last one because isn't the next one on your?
No, it's Diamonds. Diamonds Are Forever.
I thought Diamonds came after. I thought Diamonds was the last one, like the official last one.
Well, okay. I guess I was referring to the non-licensed Never Say Never Again.
Are we counting that?
No, I'm not gonna watch that one but I'm just saying he is.
So what I'm saying is this is the last Connery movie in the 5, and then the next movie is going to be Daniel Lazenby and
George.
George. It doesn't matter. They all fucking it.
And then it comes back. Yeah. And then it comes back. I guess I was saying because the Never Say Never Again is actually it's honestly just another version of Thunderball.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is at the time
the last
swan song of Sean Connery.
Which
the last one.
I don't want to give anything away, but
okay. I'm gonna say if I don't know if you want to go through it.
I can give a little review and then we can just start.
I think I'm gonna open my notes up. So what I'm gonna do is you're gonna start running through though, but I might just kind of like pop in and say notes, and we'll just kind of go that way. How's that?
Sounds good.
And then we'll kind of it'll be longer than the 5 minutes, but it's gonna just I think it's an easy way to just kind of get talking points out. Like,
all right, so this movie starts out in space. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so there's a little U.S. spaceship. And there's this monster Pac-Man spaceship that comes out of nowhere and just fucking opens up and just
yeah, okay, yeah. And I was like, because the guy was out in space, right?
Yep.
The second dude. And in my note it says, I guess homie gets left out to die in space. Because no one even went up there to save him. The other guy got eaten up by the big thing. And then this dude's out here just working on some shit and never to be seen for the rest of the movie.
He gone.
He gone. Yeah. Okay. So the big thing eats up the little baby ship.
Yep. And then from there, it pans out to James Bond in China,
Yes.
where he's making some mildly racist comments.
Yeah. There we go
To
again. I said James's first line is extremely racist. I can't remember what it was now.
It was something on the lines of I like Asian women.
They
They
taste
taste different,
Yeah, that was it. He's like, and I was like, oh god, dude. And
And
then did they bang, you think? Is this on your counter or no?
so it originally was because especially with how these movies are, you see
Yeah.
James Bond in bed with a gal, you're like, okay, chalk it up to a bang. But I want to say he was talking to Moneypenny a little later, and she said something on the lines of "How did it go?" And in James Bond, like sexist, rapey speak, effectively he said a couple more seconds and he would have had his way, or something to that effect. So I don't think he banged her. So I
He was
did.
on his way though.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't.
I think I got the
This
same
isn't.
gist of it.
This isn't in the bang counter.
I agree. I think so. I concur with your decision. I
Thank
did
you.
not did not.
So while he's laying in bed and making these racist comments, Hummy gets shot. Like,
Oh yeah.
like she, what's it called? A Murphy bed. They were in a Murphy bed.
Yeah, up on the wall and down.
Yeah. And she like slams it, and he goes up against the like in the bed, and then a bunch of like Chinese gangsters come in and just like spray bullets, and then when the authorities come in, they pronounce him dead. So then you see the scene where they're doing a burial at sea, and they make a big production about Commander Bond is dead.
So yes, did the title screen happen here? I wanted to mention that the music was kind of
it sucked.
Right. I was gonna say it was less than Goldfinger. I said, and I think it was less than Thunderball actually.
I don't know if it was just so I don't know exactly where the intro. I think it did happen around this time. I get it. They were kind of going with kind of an Asian sounding song.
Yeah.
I got nothing from it, and I don't know. It just felt kind of doing it just to try to do it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I understand. Yeah, from I could tell. There's a lot of things we'll talk about more, obviously, but like throughout the movie, like they probably in pre-production were like, "This is set in Japan. Let's just do everything we fucking can in Japanese." You know what I mean? Like, and then like that was their shtick, But the music, yeah, I was like, it's not it. It just didn't do it for me. The intro wasn't, but yeah. So he faked his death. I was gonna say, I think this is the first time we've seen like the fake out, which becomes kind of a recurring thing as we go on the series,
Well, and then even later on, like, because this was very much they faked his death to make it seem to his enemies that he was gone, kind of thing. But I know at least in Skyfall, I don't think he actually like faked his death, but like they assume like when a dude gets shot and falls into a river, you're like,
yeah, it doesn't come back up.
Probably done, but then he was, randomly on an island.
I always thought they knew he was still alive. They just were like, yeah, he'll come back when he wants to, kind of.
I mean, because they easily found him.
Exactly. Yeah, they were like, all right, go get him. He was kind of like, let him. He's had enough time hanging out in Jamaica, where the fuck he was in that movie.
Yeah,
but I think it was like a common. I think it happens a couple in the Moore era, where he dies and comes back, or like it's always like a fake out, and you're like, okay, we get it. But yeah, he fake out death,
Yep. And then they bury at sea, and then once the body slides into the water, you see a submarine, and then you see two divers come up, and they grab the very stiff body.
Yeah.
It looked like it was weird because like when they opened, they get it on the submarine, they open it up, and he's in his uniform, and he's got like a breathing mask on. I'm like, why was the body so stiff?
Like you get that fake rigor mortis,
Yeah, it was almost like when they made the prop out of wood, and they're like, good enough.
Yeah, it's fine until he gets out. Then it's fine here now. Good enough, bro.
Yeah.
I agree. It's like, so I mentioned, like, I don't know, when did the NATO meeting happen? Where they were like, hey, shit's going down over there about the space thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I guess made a comment that it was funny to me. It's just humorous that because this is a British film. Right. And they made like the Americans and NATO look like idiots. Like they portrayed them as idiots, And they're like, actually, we have a secret agent already on this. We know. Like.
Yeah, which is, it happened before, because that's when they panned out to James Bond in China.
Yeah, that's true.
I
remember now, yeah. And now we're already at the part where he's in the submarine.
Yeah, so now the submarine was weird because I'm like, oh, he's on a British submarine. But then, when he does this like weird, like, permission to come aboard, I'm like, oh, all right, dog. But then he rolls in, and like I don't know if we've ever talked about it like in the previous movies, but I do remember that Bond was in the British Navy.
Yeah, actually, I want to say this. I think this might be the first time you ever heard it officially.
But then what was weird to me was
he was like a Commander Bond, right?
Well, yeah, he was commander. But what was weird to me was Moneypenny was in a British uniform, officer uniform, and I'm like, so are they all in the British Navy?
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's like a secret. That's their official title, but they got like collaterals,
Yeah. So he goes through the submarine, and then effectively the set is the same as like the MI6 building, because he walks to a little office, and Moneypenny's there, and he walks in and talks to M.
Yep.
So then from there, M tells them that they're going to send him to Japan, and I don't remember. It's funny, I watched this movie last night, but
you forgot already.
When did they show?
Let me see if I have notes on it.
When did they show the big spaceship eating the little Russian spaceship?
Oh, okay. This might have been. I want to say that was.
I think
around the same time. Might have been right before he got on the sub, honestly, or something.
So effectively,
I think that was actually the NATO thing.
Okay.
Was them showing the Russia, because then they're like, now it's more than just.
Yeah, because what is being set up right now is that U.S. has lost a spaceship, Russia's lost a spaceship, and Cold War time. So it looks like if they can't unfuck this shit, there's gonna be
World War II or III or whatever. What time are we at? World War III.
Yeah. So now you fast forward. Bond's in Japan. He's at a sumo wrestling event. And
wasn't that how awkward was the sumo fight scene?
What part was awkward for you?
The like cat and mouse game with him and the chick was just awkward. I
was a little confused. And full disclosure, so I watched this on the anniversary collection, and I still haven't figured out if I actually can get fucking subtitles. on these
on Amazon
Blu-rays.
Prime, you can. That's right. Well, Prime Video. That's right.
However, I went on Prime Video and I couldn't watch it.
Really?
It wasn't available.
That's weird. I watched it last Saturday.
I don't know.
Whatever the day we were supposed to do it. Was it 2 weeks ago? I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, I watched it on Prime. It's weird.
Yeah.
So you got no subtitles. You don't know what the hell's going on, basically.
Yeah. So I try to turn it up a little bit. All the kids were sleeping, so I couldn't turn it up too loud. I sat really close to the TV, but I usually lose a little bit if I don't have subtitles on. So I don't entirely I know that he was supposed to meet up with Mr.
Tanaka, yeah.
And the code word was "I love you." So he's doing this dance with the Japanese girl, and eventually he's like, "I love you," and I guess that was good enough,
Convinced? You convinced me? Yeah, I agree. It was just awkward. Also, this is good. This is a good point to say that Connery, he's looking a little
old.
Yeah.
Which
I thought as soon as he showed up, I was like, oof.
All right, for the record, so this movie came out, 68, 69?
I think so.
Okay.
That's about right. And
Dr. No was 62?
62, yeah. So it's been about 8 years.
I think Bond was only about Connery was only 40, 41 around this time.
Yeah, he hit a fucking wall, dude. I think he was living the Bond life for real, And
again, I'm starting to, show my age a little bit. I'm starting to get some wrinkles, but I'm 37, and dude looks rough. And I'm pretty sure Daniel Craig, when he did his first one, when he did Casino.
It is kind of wild though. If you watch Casino and then you go watch No Time to Die, I'm like,
well, sure, but you're talking about the differences. He's 41, and then he's
15 years or something like that, right?
Yeah, 55 or some shit like that. So I get it, but on the flip flop, Kyrie's only 40. And I'm like, man,
I know. 60s were wild, bro.
They're rough on you, man. You're a little rapey,
The character. Not
okay. We're not throwing shade at Connery, but
I hope not.
Okay,
not a legend.
So
great.
So I don't fully remember what transpires after this. I know he's taken to Mr. Henderson.
Mr. Henderson, yes. Harry and the Hendersons.
And I'm not fully sure what Mr. Henderson's purpose was.
I think he was MI6 contact or something. That was he lived in Japan now. He's remember because he said something he just stayed after a mission.
And then I know he had fake legs, but
oh, you just smacked the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And he's oh, okay. Only one way to be sure.
And then while he's talking to him, this dude gets stabbed.
He's
so now there's no Mr. Henderson. And then Bond chases the assassin.
Mm-hmm.
And this is probably one of the more wild parts of the movie. So Bond sees the escape car, and he kills the assassin. And he looks up and he's I was so confused by the thought process of, what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this guy's fucking clothes. I'm going to pretend to be the assassin. And I'm just going to let this motherfucker, this getaway car, take me to wherever he's going. Because
I know,
I can probably get out of this.
It worked.
Sure.
Mostly because they wrote the movie, but it worked.
Also, all right. Let's say that you and I were doing some squirrely shit. And
nefarious shit.
Yep,
yeah.
Let's say that you were my driver. Let's say that someone takes me out and puts on my fucking chubby's, sweatshirt and puts on a mask. And then they pretend to get into the car. Are we just saying that this guy was just, due to the fact that it looked like, because Bond was pretending to be like stabbed, like, are you really telling me that you would drive away and not know that
Not
it's
make
not
sure,
me?
right? Not verify or not even like, yeah. I don't, he just happens to be the same build, the same
Right?
size. Yeah, I know. Make believe, bro. You got to suspend belief sometimes, I guess.
Okay.
Plot
So,
hole number one.
I got you.
So he gets to this like the dude's office, right?
Yeah, because he
And
gets
then
to this. I think it's like a chemical plant.
and then the guy who was driving turns out to be some fucking jacked ass dude, right?
Yep, they
And
fight.
I thought
Kills
that
him.
fight was kind of okay,
It was okay.
but my dude just picks up a couch
Right.
to fight back. He just picks up a nonchalant, just like couch, like
We'll
okay,
we'll talk about it when we get to the overall feel or thoughts of the movie. But
okay,
yeah.
fair.
So then from there, Bond opens up a safe, which I did think that was kind of cool. He was using technology to effectively decode the safe. And once he opens the safe, then it starts, going off. And, from there, he steals a couple documents, takes out a whole bunch of, guards, and then his little Bond girl shows up and just hops in, and they get away.
Her car was kind of sick though.
Yeah, and I didn't look it up what it was.
2000 GT Toyota.
Okay,
I looked it up because I was curious what it was, and then also, a funny thing I found about it is that they only make them. And when I say they only make them like with a top, right? So they took the tops off them because
Okay.
Connery was too big,
Makes sense.
and they turned into a convertible, something like that.
Okay.
So because they never put the top back on. If you notice, it was a convertible. They never put the top on. And it was because he was too big or some shit like that.
Makes sense.
But I like the car. Good car.
Yeah, good car. And this is like there really wasn't a Bond car.
Yeah, the DB5 didn't come back.
Yeah, so
after spending the last two movies, it was in both of them, and then yeah.
Well, when you're in Japan, I guess you don't need the DB5.
I guess you can't, export it, whatever.
Yeah. So
I think all the sake went to the bottom. Anyway,
so then from there, I know that they go back to the chemical place, and then he gets stuck in some like trap door, and then that's where like he slides down and he's in like an office, and it's like, oh, homeboy's gonna actually be caught, but now he's caught by Mr. Tanaka,
right? Conveniently,
yeah. Which I was confused on how we needed Tanaka to catch him to like have a meetup.
Right, like, but sorry, hold on. Yeah, I just think I think it was like that was the point of going, right? It was to meet this dude,
right?
And then like he just conveniently, I mean, like, okay, to be fair, henchman chick was very ambiguous and weird about it all, right? Like she ran away a little bit,
right?
Made him chase her, and back and forth. Like she could have just been like, "Hey, this is Tanaka's place."
Right.
You already said I love you. Like
right.
I know who you are. I don't know.
So this movie effectively had two Bond girls.
Mm-hmm.
So this
I got notes on those too.
So okay, because this is the first one, and I know while he's with Tanaka, so like Tanaka shows him,
unless, I don't know how far we are from this. Are the girls in the hot tub considered Bond girls?
No,
But that's a scene we got to talk about. But yeah, go ahead. Okay, so the two Bond girls are.
So when he's with Tanaka, like, One, Tanaka shows him all these fucking ninjas that he has. He's raising ninjas, it's like a ninja.
Yeah, like they're fucking chickens, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, I got ninjas for days, baby.
Which,
like,
I'm not going to lie, I wasn't a big fan of the ninjas. It was kind of giving me Nam flashbacks to From Russia with Love with all the gypsies, So,
I think that's a kind of obviously a flaw, but of the early Bond movies. But like that's what I was kind of mentioning earlier when they were like, we're in Japan, so they almost have to reach to every single like
Asian
culture.
stereotype.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We have to have sumo wrestling. We have to have ninjas.
Yes. Exactly. We gotta have
a happy ending.
And this is the scene.
Yeah. So
what a fucking scene, dude.
All right. So I might have blacked out or fallen asleep a little bit during this.
Decided to just look down and the whole. Oh my god.
So what the fuck was going on? He got to pick whatever girl he wanted.
Yeah. Okay. So what I got out of it was. I don't know why they went there. I guess to just treat Bond like a hospitality thing or something. But he literally was like, pick which one you want, James. Like your choice, brother. And I was like, and he was like, oh, I like them all because I'm a fucking crazy bastard. You know what I mean? Right. And so then he was just like, pick the one. And then they go in the hot tub with you. And I was like, all right. So first of all, I wrote hot tub scene is weird.
Right.
And also it was and I was like, it's another Austin Powers knockoff.
Right.
Because they said the one where men come first, women come second. Because he said at the Bond, he's like, in this country, men come first, women come second, and that's why you get to choose the woman. And she says, sexyful. Yes. And I was like, are you serious? You couldn't think of a better, you're very sexyful. Huh? And then I was like, are they nude, bro? Were they nude? Like, was Connery nude? I was very afraid to look in depth on the hot tub, right?
I mean, for the record, like we didn't see anything.
I made sure. I was like, is that
dong sighting? We never saw Connery's wang.
That's right. He didn't hang dong. I think they gave them like those like flesh colored underwear.
Okay.
And they went in there. It was very weird when you watch it back for subtitles. See if you can see dong.
Okay.
The worst part is it looks like a Ken doll.
All right.
But go on. Yeah.
So what happens after this scene? Because I know eventually.
Okay, let me see if I gotta. Oh man. Because I think he runs into the other chick.
The redhead.
But then I guess before this, before the redhead, the other henchman chick all of a sudden wants to bang James. Remember, she gives him the massage,
which is the first bang of this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, but she was rude as shit to him, and now she's like, oh well, I want to bang now.
Yeah, I was confused about that too, where like the Japanese girl was rubbing him down, the one that he picked, and then they just like swapsies. The henchman girl.
Man. They're weird, bro.
Yeah. So I know eventually we're gonna end up meeting the redhead.
Which is I can't remember what number. She's Inspector, right? Yeah. What number is she?
I don't know. I don't know if she had a number.
Okay, so I think he goes on a meeting. That's what he did, right? Because he went to
he went back. He went back to the chemical company.
Right.
Do you remember the name that he was going as? Because he wasn't going as Bond. He was Mr.
I'm gonna look. I'm looking to see if I can find it. All right. But I'll look it up. You keep talking about the.
So I know at some point in time he bangs this redhead that's working for Spectre. And then later he
bangs her after.
Well, but he.
You're trying to figure it out.
It's probably not the first time, but he bangs her, and then he eventually goes back to Tanaka's, and he's with his little henchman boo, And like she asked, I don't know, it came up kind of, and he was kind of vague about, banging this other girl, which if you're randomly banging James Bond, like you kind of just got to accept like.
It just says masquerading as a potential buyer. Doesn't give me a name.
So
it looks like Bond chases Aki. It meets Tiger Tanaka. He gives him the documents he found at the chemical place.
Yeah, which effectively is
ship, right?
Yeah, and like they just find out that they're getting a bunch of chemicals to make a big bomb.
Yeah, and they're basically killing anybody that finds it, right?
Yeah.
So then he goes to the guy Asado Chemicals and meets Helga Brandt there.
Okay.
Helga Brandt. But he's got that X-ray machine and shit. He knows he has a gun and stuff.
Right.
And then so I don't know the name. My bad.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. So then they try to kill Bond with acid. They're gonna drop acid into his mouth.
Wait, that's way down, bro.
I was kind of just trying to get through this movie. Like
I know, but because I was gonna say, all right, here we go. They open fire, and that's when she rescues him. They open fire on him and try and kill him with guns. Regular ass way to kill him. All right, and then he runs away with a key. Then he wakes up in Brandt's cabin, and then this is when they bang. The second bang.
Yep.
Number dose. And I was just very, very confused at that one. Why?
I assume if you're gonna kill Bond, you gotta let him bang first.
You gotta bang him first, then kill him. Why not? Get something out of it, I guess. What? She was working for Spectre. She clearly knows who he is. His history. He killed Dr. No. He killed Rosa Klebb. He killed I think there's another one. I don't know. Right? But like she knows.
You gotta bang him. I don't know.
Okay. So, let me help you out here. Okay, so then he goes back there. Okay, so she seduced him, and then she's flying him to Tokyo.
Right, and then from there she escapes, and there's like gas in the airplane, and then like his hands are like stuck. There's like a board over him, and somehow he can get out of it, and he lands the plane without any wheels.
Any training?
Boom. Kind of bounces like.
Yeah. So I thought this, and then he like fights off anybody, or I think this is the first time like they played the theme song during like an action sequence.
We'll go with that.
I noticed. So once that happens, he all right. God damn it. All right. He wakens up, the gas wears off, and now my page went blank. Oh, that's back. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. He discovers where the ship is, flies over the area, and an armed. Oh yeah, little Nelly.
Okay, so this is weird too, because like he got a message out to MI6 that he needs his dad and he needs little Nelly.
Mm-hmm.
And then his dad is Q, and Q comes rocking some pretty sweet ass like short shorts. I
know, right? Must be hot over there.
Yeah,
in Tokyo.
Sure. And they build this contraption in front of you, and it's this like little jalopy helicopter.
Oh yeah,
that has missiles.
Little Nelly.
And Bond is flying over looking for the island and the boat.
He flies right over it too,
And then there's this chase because other like single person helicopters come out, and he like shoots them down. And then is this where it transitions into him going sleep with his main squeeze?
No, okay, so this is where they basically all right. I said little Nelly is audacious. I wrote two bangs, right? We knew that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Helga Brandt scene. She's number 11,
Okay.
but wants to fuck James? Question mark. And then I said, my dude just straight up maims her dress. And I remember that now. When she's like, let's bang, he like rips the shit out of her fucking clothes. I was like, all right, bro, damn, son, that shit's probably expensive.
Oh, yeah, because he had the little scalpel knife. And yeah.
Volcano is another ripoff of Austin Powers.
Yep.
The first, and this is our first look. It transitions into Spectre inside the volcano.
Right.
And I would say this is, I think, our first kind of look into how they work, how their operation works. We see Blofeld and talking to the chemical guy with the Helga, and then this is where another fucking Austin Powers ref with the piranhas.
Yeah.
Because he fucking dumps her ass in the lake he made, and she gets eaten to nothing. And I thought that was I think it's kind of funny how this one has so many Austin Powers references. I don't know if that's good or bad, because this is the first time you see Blofeld with a cat too, you know?
Yeah.
Or wait, maybe he was in From Russia with Love. I don't know.
Well, they never really showed Blofeld.
Yeah, and he looked. Oh, yeah, and his look in this one. You know, we'll get to that. But okay. So then I said Brandt's dead due to Bond. Another death by Bond. We know.
Yep.
All right, and now it goes to fucking. He ends up at the ninja school with Tanaka, and I was like, I like the shooting. They had the shooting range. They had ninjas training how to shoot a gun at a shooting range, and I was like, okay.
Very un-ninja-like.
Very un-ninja-like, bro. Q, they got rocket guns or some shit like that.
And then they also... Is this where Q gave him the gun cigarette?
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, he did. So this is another thing I noticed. It's very weird, but I noticed that, like, Q's there, giving him the cigarette stuff, right? The guns. Right. But Tanaka gives him the brief on the gadgets. Because usually it's a Q thing, right? Yeah. You know, and then this one, he's just there. And I was like, okay, I mean, whatever.
Maybe they're trying to try something new. I don't know.
I wrote a note. It says Bond full bush.
Bond had a full bush?
I can't remember why. Yeah, did they mention something about his full bush?
I mean, they were talking about his chest hair.
Oh, yes. Okay. And I was like, Bond's got full bush. He said something about like not shaving it on. I was like, my boy's got full bush.
It was the 60s.
It was the 60s. It's cool then. Yeah, like I don't know. I was like, I had to write it down, I guess. I don't know. It was so important that I was like, let me jot this down. All right. And now it begins.
So they're sleeping.
Well, I want to talk about how they got to this point, because it's with his wife.
Whose wife?
Bond. No, it's not. It's not. You're right.
Yeah. So they're sleeping,
but
they go to poison Bond, but like it misses and it gets the
little no, it's like he like rolls over and then like Aki rolls in his spot.
Yeah.
You know, like it happens.
Like her mouth's open and then, you know, poison. Yeah. Poison. And then how did we transition from she's dead to now they
So, okay, here's what happened. When he was at the ninja place, Tanaka was like, the only way we can, like, I guess get close to the volcanoes if you are part of the village. And you have
this is where it gets really weird.
And now it begins.
So they gave him a wig.
Oh, yeah, that's not even the worst part, dude.
But then they gave him like pieces of fake skin to try to like.
Oh yeah, dude! It was like
they could not remake this movie in the original way.
Oh my god! I was like, I said, Bond becoming Japanese. ... Brother, it's so bad. I was like, holy shit, dude! I was like, he's fucking like the eyes, dude.
So they bring him to the village, and he makes the comment that that his wife is going to be a pig.
Yeah.
And
Can I just say before we get into why did he have to get married?
I, why did he have to do anything in this
I
movie?
don't, you know what I mean? Why did he have to, I guess I don't, honestly don't understand why he had to become of the village. You're part of MI6. Find your way there, you know? Second, why do you have to be married to be in the village? Okay, so now he's like, she's a pig, and go ahead, Mike. I mean, go back with your train of thought.
All right. So they show the first girl, and yeah, she's kind of homely. They show the second one, she's homely. Then they show the third one, that is Bond's wife. Mm-hmm. She's not homely. She's good looking.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Congratulations, James. You're so lucky again.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then he tries to bang her, and she, effectively says, this is a one-room house. You sleep over.
Isn't she also like a secret agent or no?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right. I thought she was like in on it with Tanaka. You know what I mean? Like part of his group, but
maybe. But because
yeah,
you sleep over here, I sleep over there, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is where it gets weird. So.
It's been
for the
weird.
rest of this fucking
movie, weird, man. Okay.
For the rest of this movie, except for the last scene, they are going to put Homegirl in a bikini and not like she's running around an island just in straight up a bikini.
It reminds me of Dr. No with Honey Rider. You know what I mean? Like she served no purpose but to be in a bikini for like the last third of the movie, and it's kind of the same thing here.
Right. So Bond makes it. They go to the volcano, and then they find out that the top is, like it's not, because they thought it was water.
Okay, this was another. I'm sorry, I wrote another note. I was like, so they couldn't tell it was metal without throwing a rock at it.
Yeah.
You're like, I think it's water. Hold on a second, and they threw a fucking rock, and I was like, oh. It's not. I was like, really? Okay, bro. Yeah. So they find out it's metal.
And then from there, like, Bond puts on some climbing gear.
I don't know. Something like.
Yeah, and he makes it into the volcano. He makes it into the lair.
So I thought it was funny when he gets into the lair and he like sneaks into like the astronauts like hiding area.
Yeah.
So then I don't know what his plan was to pretend to be an astronaut with them.
Yeah, because
I guess I'll go to space with you guys. Let's fucking go. You know what I mean?
They're gonna put him in space, and then they stop him and they say, "Hey, bring that astronaut to head, the head office." I forgot what the cue was, but apparently he did something that no astronaut would do.
Right.
Yeah,
when the astronauts start like fighting back, bro, are they fucking trained like ass kickers, dude? They're like astronauts. All of a sudden they're just like, oh, jujitsu, bitch. And I was like, holy fuck, these guys are dual trained.
We'll just chalk it up and say they were MI6
plants. Yeah, sure. They're plants. So Blofeld finds this like whatever you like you said, some kind of mistake, right? Calls him into his personal office.
And then from there, we had the reveal of Blofeld.
Yeah. What did you think about that? Nothing.
I mean,
not creepy, not scary, not offsetting.
All they did was they took, fake skin and they gave him a weird looking eye,
A scar. Yeah. So I read a lot about. So what's funny is it's Donald Pleasance. He's from Halloween. The sheriff there or the detective. I don't know what he is. But he apparently decided that he did not want to blink in all his lines.
Okay.
So if you go back and watch it, he doesn't blink once talking as Blofeld, and to make it feel extra creepy, like the guy just stares at you. You know what I mean? And he's like, I thought it was particularly off-putting because he has a scar over his eye and it never moves. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and I think, when you reveal a guy that's been hidden for what is it, 4 movies now? Like basically 3 out of the 4 movies has been a major kind of back. Well, I guess you know what I mean. Like,
It just kind of felt like he's in the shadows. He's in the shadows. He's in the shadows. Now he's here. Like.
Yeah, well, I do wonder if it had something to do with the fact that Connery was talking about leaving. I don't know. Maybe they were just like, hey, we need to like kind of ramp it up. He's here now. This is your last time, and Bond's gonna confront him or whatever.
Right.
I think that it makes sense because a lot of times when you have guys like that are like hidden and they get revealed, they're not like scary looking, they're kind of goofy looking.
It just felt underwhelming. But
yeah,
the rest of the
also very, very inspiring of Dr. Evil. Like 100% taken from that. You know what I mean?
Movie, yes.
This movie is Austin Powers 1, reskinned.
So they send the spaceship up, and pretty much they show Bond, kind of what's going on, and then like all the ninjas come, and then this is when Bond, takes out one of the guys and then opens up the dome so some of the ninjas
can come in. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a big fight that ensues, and then Blofeld has the opportunity. So he's got what was the guy's name? The chemical guy.
Osada, I think it
So
was.
he's got him and he's got Bond, and he's like gonna take Bond to go kill, and then he just shoots Mr. Okada or whatever his name is, and then he's got the opportunity to shoot Bond, and then it doesn't happen. Of course Bond gets away.
Yeah, he like. First of all, this Hans dude, boring as fuck.
Yeah.
Coming from like 2 movies ago, you had Odd Job. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And now you're looking at Hans. Like, okay. And then I think Bond says, he says Bon Appetit or some shit.
Yeah.
When he gets eaten by the fish. And I'm like, all right, that's what you came up with? But I agree. It's the victim of the villain have to like explain his shit to him.
And then
like, hey, let me tell you what I'm actually gonna do to you, Bond. Oh, you gonna get away? What a bummer.
And this is where it also gets weird because so the island, there's like a fire and shit, everyone's fighting. Bond goes back and he's trying to stop the spaceship.
Right.
And then he can't figure it out, and then he like lifts it up and there's just like a button and he just presses it and it blows up, So he
okay, he blew it up, right?
Yeah.
Weren't the astronauts on there, dude?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was like, fuck it. And I was like, wait a minute.
It stopped another major war.
That's all that matters, bro.
Fuck
the innocent.
And then
oops, wrong.
They found out that like some of the Spectre guys were like escaping. There was another way, and this is when all the ninjas start like fucking swimming.
So they were swimming out through the gas caves, dude.
Yeah.
So there's no more gas.
Dog.
You know what I mean? It's okay now, bro. As long as you swim out.
So now Blofeld did get away, right?
He did, yeah.
Yeah. And then Bond escaped.
They didn't really show him get away, but they didn't show him die.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So then Bond escapes and he ends up with his little wife lady. And then, classic Bond, they end up on a fucking life raft.
I was going to say, another life raft, dude.
And then bang number 3 happens.
You assume bang? I assume bang as well.
So
I think it had to be a bang.
so we've already talked about this movie quite a bit. This was such a fucking mixed bag for me.
Yeah.
I
Go ahead.
So far, like I'm probably gonna rate this movie higher than I should, but if I never watch this one again, like going back, I'll probably watch Thunderball again because I genuinely like Thunderball. Doctor No, there were good parts about Doctor No, but not Doctor No, Goldfinger.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor No's kind of one of those where like you watch it once, like you say you watch it, like it is what it is, and you already know that I do not like From Russia with Love. I know a lot of people did. What that wasn't my whole. Um, this this is probably one of those movies that unless we do another bonding over Bond in 20 years,
Right. Yeah, we got a retrospect in like 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, just do it again.
this movie did not age well.
That's a fair statement on the aging well. If we're gonna do an instant like placement on ranking, I would say like my number one I think is Goldfinger, right? And I
That's your
think
number
two.
one.
I think no, was it Thunderball? I can't
Thunderball's
remember.
mine.
I think it might have been Thunderball, Goldfinger from Russia,
Okay.
and I think this might be just above Doctor No, honestly. And then the only reason is because they had more money. They had
So I put
because
this as the third one.
yeah,
So
this okay, yeah,
Thunderball, Goldfinger. I put this because there was a lot of production. I did enjoy this movie more than Doctor No, and then I don't know, I just don't like From Russia with Love.
so the funny thing to me is it's got all these flaws, right? And you could say like it would not be made today. There's shit that doesn't make sense, right? But like at the end of the day, if you look at it, it just feels like such a Bond movie. It feels like you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like it's just so
it
weird that but you're just
felt
kind of like he's in a foreign country. This is the first time they've really kind of like set on the Asian side of the country, of the world. You know what I mean? Like everything else has been Europe and like Jamaica,
right.
and they had this opportunity to show like that whole side of like culture, you know,
So
and it just feels like very Bond like.
so obviously, these movies are they're pretty old.
Mm-hmm.
This one and Thunderball, I would say Thunderball was kind of where you actually got like the production of Bond.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The first three were kind of more of just like you're kind of like a low budget spy movie, and this,
Yeah.
it definitely was a Bond movie. I can't imagine that this one is going to end up very high on my list.
There's a lot of things. Like there's a lot. I said it's like it feels like a Bond movie. There's also a lot of things that are like against it. You know, like Connery being old.
Yeah.
Connery being Japanese. I thought the whole wedding scenes and stuff really slowed down the movie.
Yeah.
It made no sense, dude.
Well, and this whole idea, like, because this movie effectively had two Bond girls, and had the first half Bond girl,
his assistant Aki,
Aki, and
yeah,
then his wife.
well, don't forget Helga Brandt.
She wasn't a Bond girl.
I don't know.
That was just a girl he banged. Like
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. What is a Bond girl? I mean, like a girl that gets killed because she had sex with James Bond, because
generally
that's the Wickets, bro, and she's one.
Bond girl is generally someone who is hanging out with Bond and gets kind of wrapped up in the shenanigans.
That's true. I think it helps if they're like kind of like not a kind of person to get into this kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yeah, like the wife chick, right? She's just a chick,
right?
A person, and then like Bond's like, now you're fucked because you're with me. But yeah, go ahead.
So this also gets weird too with the timeline because I'm pretty sure the next movie we're gonna watch is no longer a Connery movie, but then we're gonna go back to Connery one more time.
Yeah, and I have gone back and forth in debating if we should just do the other Connery. But I think we should go with the way it was released. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, and then had the feelings that everyone else did.
and then
Because
for the record, I have not watched these movies since 2012, but
hmm.
I'm just like, if I remember correctly, I think I'm gonna like the on Her
On Her
Majesty's.
Majesty's Secret Service, yeah.
Yeah, I think I like that a lot better than some of these. So I don't think it was as bad as now. I know it didn't do as well as the Connery films, but like
Mhm.
I don't think it was that bad.
There's something about we'll review it again, of course, when like Moore and Brosnan and Craig, and I guess Timothy Dalton too. Yeah, technically, but I guess my point was like at their last film, there's kind of a running theme I feel.
It's
And
kind of like tired and
yes,
yeah,
it's like tired, or you can kind of tell the actors like I've done this too many times.
and you,
That kind
you
of
can
like
kind of
vibe.
see that with more, because he did like seven. Uh,
Yeah, and I sense it a lot with Connery in this one.
and
He's kind of like I'm just here to be Bond, baby.
I mean,
I'm here to get a paycheck. I'm not really feeling it though.
obviously we'll talk about it later, but I think the most famous one about being burnt out was Daniel Craig because he went.
Yeah, he definitely went out and made everyone know.
Well,
Yeah,
he went on the talk show and they asked him,
yeah,
about doing
slit my
another one
wrist or something
after.
like
Yeah,
that.
he's like, I'd rather,
Cut my
break
wrist with
this
glass or some
drinking
shit.
glass and slit
Yeah.
my wrist and do another one. And then he did one more.
Yeah, and then he does another one. I think there is a trend of the unfortunate trend of the production company forcing just one more movie out of these guys, and it shows almost every time. You know what I mean?
And it's funny because you either get to, hey, they did a movie or two too many, or
mhm.
like when it comes to Timothy Dalton, I feel like Dalton is, from what
Well,
I remember,
there's
is it.
a I remember him being pretty solid. I think the problem with him was just the actual legit time between movies. You know what I
And
mean? Like,
they
there was
and
like shit going on.
they also wanted Pierce Brosnan originally, so I
If I remember correctly, there was also some like legal shit going on with the company, and that's why
yeah
there was like because we'll get to it, but I think License to Kill, I think is his second one, or Living Daylights, whatever the latter one was.
yeah I
Between
think
that and Goldeneye was like 8 years or some shit like that. And so, by at that point, Dalton was like, I don't know, you can't wait for fucking ever. If
right
if you want to be an actor, you got to keep going, right? So
right
I think he moved on, and then we'll get to that when it happens. But like that is another incident where it's like, oh, that sucks. And then you have people like Daniel Craig, where it's 15 years for like four movies, and Connery's doing four movies, one a year, like. He's
right.
doing a movie every fucking year. This still the 60s, and we're talking about the fucking fifth one, dude. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
well, he did from Casino Royale to Spectre. It was 9 years, and he did four films.
yeah,
And there
exactly.
was that
And we're
big
talking from
gap.
62 to 67. I just looked it up. 5 films,
Yeah,
right? 5 years, 5 films.
yeah.
Wild.
Is there
But
anything else you want to say about this movie? Because I'm actually kind of done talking about this movie.
so I would just say that it's just kind of a weird to me trajectory. I thought going into this movie, like we went into Thunderball and everything was like trending up, right? So like you could say you didn't like From Russia with Love, but you could also say that you could see you could see the production value, the ambition, right? And then it kept going up, and Thunderball, like you said, was really good. And then like this comes out, and you're kind of like, what?
Yeah, this just kind of felt like a miss, and there's a lot of Bond films, so not all of them are going to be great.
It's kind of a bummer because like this is the first time, like I said, that they went to Asia and they kind of really fucked it up. You know what I mean? Like the first time they can like expand and go to like a different country and show different things, and Bond is now in Japan. And they really went racist with it, like it was really awkward too. And but the music make me say it wasn't good. Or how about the cars? Any thoughts on the cars?
I mean, other than that
That was
Toyota
the only
was
car,
pretty
so I
cool.
think it's a downgrade, right?
I
I think it's probably the worst car situation since like Doctor No, maybe even Russia.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't really a car, so
Yeah.
other than
Little
that,
Nelly. How about the gadgets? Let's hit all the wickets. The gadgets. What do you got?
all you really had was
Little Nelly. The
and
cigarette.
then
The cigarette.
the cigarette. Because that's how he took the guy out.
Yeah.
At the end.
Better than any other movies, or
No.
all right? What about the Blonde Girls?
Um.
There was 2 this time. I don't remember the last time there was like 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this is the first time they had 2, but I mean, obviously they're better than Honey Rider. But
right. And I think let's remember. I think better than Pussy Galore. I think okay, so I'm gonna say no. I'll say this why. I'll say it's because Helga Brandt was in about like, I don't know, 5 scenes,
Okay.
And I feel like it was still very weird that she like broke down and wanted to have sex with him so bad, and then she died immediately afterwards. I don't understand the plot point of her. Aki was good. I'd put her before, like, just below Pussy Galore. I think the girl from Thunderball was also just kind of like a damsel in distress kind of situation.
Yeah, but I like that.
You like that? I mean, I put her 3rd, and then I put the From Russia Love Girl 4th, and then Honey Rider's 5th. You know what I mean? Like,
so who was number 1?
I want to say Pussy Galore.
Okay.
Pussy Galore.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna argue too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I would take the chick from Thunderball as number 1, but
his girlfriend, or was her name Domino? I think it was, or
yeah, something like that.
It's like someone's sister. I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, it was the guy who died that because the one that they were whatchamacallit, they were pretending to be the brother.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, the pilot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
You got anything you want to say about it, or any more gripes and complaints you want to bitch about it?
No.
I'll say this. It's kind of ironic that the best drink came from one of the worst movies.
Well,
I'll say that. You should try the drink.
I will,
but not watch the movie again. So, that's my final say on this. Yeah, try the drink we made. Don't watch the movie; it's not worth your time.
Sounds good.
Yeah. If you don't have anything else to say, then I'll just say, thanks for stopping by, everyone. I know we're live. We had about 1 view tops. It was great.
Wonderful.
Thanks for stopping in, numero uno guy, whoever you are.
We appreciate it.
We'll try to do every time. How about every time we do this, we'll just do it live. So I'll put a notification maybe the day before, so it's not like a spur of the moment for people. Yeah, we'll do it live, and they'll edit it, and we'll post it, and that way you guys want to stop in and let us know if we're saying some things wrong or you have your own opinion.
Sure.
And just chat in and stuff. Always fun to have everyone hang out. Yeah, so this was James Bonding. You Only Live Twice. Sean Connery. Go check us out on YouTube, Instagram. This was on YouTube and Twitch.
I want to change it again.
Oh, okay.
Bonding over Bond.
Bonding over Bond.
Yeah, that I know.
Bonding with Bond. James bonding with Bond.
Bonding over Bond.
Okay. YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, X, Facebook page. Reach out to us any of those places.
Carrier pigeon.
Carrier pigeon, Western
Carrier pigeon.
Yeah. Email, regular mail. Yeah, man. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Gin Sofa out. All right, that's going to be it for us today for this James Bonding You Only Live Twice. Hope you guys enjoyed the banter and a revisiting of a classic Sean Connery film. If you guys enjoyed it and you made it this far, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Go to YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm forgetting all the names. I keep running them down, but go ahead and give us a follow, shout out, send us a message, let us know how bad we are, all the good stuff. All right, guys. Hope to see you next time. Gin and Sofa out.